My sister Jenna left me 3 voicemails in 2 hours. Hey, so we need the cabin keys by Friday. Call me back. Second message, an hour later. Seriously, we have 16 people coming. Don't make this difficult. Third message, the one that made me laugh out loud. Mom said you handled Uncle Ray's estate stuff. Just get us access. It's family. Funny thing about family. 2 weeks earlier, I wasn't family enough to get invited to Christmas dinner. Something about limited space. Jenna's future in-laws were coming. I'd understand, right? But now I was family enough to hand over keys to a $2.3 million property. The property they thought belonged to someone else. The property I actually owned. Want to know how the black sheep ended up owning the one thing the golden children thought was theirs? Drop your time zone in the comments. It's 9 p.m. here and I'm still processing this. And hit subscribe because the receipts I'm about to show you are unreal. Let me back up 2 months. I was always the invisible one. Jenna was the golden child. Pre-med at 17. Every family dinner was about her residency interviews, her research, her future. Kyle, my older brother, was the entrepreneur. Failed 3 startups, but Dad called him a visionary. Me? I moved across the country after college and got into commercial real estate acquisitions. At Thanksgiving one year, I closed my first 6-figure sale. I was so proud. Dad looked up from his plate and said, "That's nice, sweetie." Then spent 40 minutes talking about Kyle's new app idea. Mom actually said, "Real estate? So you're basically playing Monopoly?" I stopped trying to impress them. But Uncle Ray noticed. Ray was Mom's brother. The family didn't talk to him much. He was quiet, lived alone, made his money in property development back in the 80s. He called me every Sunday, taught me how to read zoning maps, how to spot undervalued land, how to negotiate without blinking. And he told me something I'll never forget. Keep records. People rewrite history when money's on the table. So I did. Every email, every contract, every text message, every property document. Not paranoia, insurance. 18 months ago, Uncle Ray died. Heart attack, quick. He was 71. I was the only one who visited him in the hospital the month before. The only one who called. When the lawyer read the will, I found out why he left me everything. The cabin, 2 rental properties, his investment accounts, and a handwritten note in the margin. Give them nothing unless they earn it. I thought the family would at least pretend to care that he was gone. I was wrong. October, 2 months before Christmas. Mom called. "Honey, we're doing Christmas at the cabin this year. The whole family. It'll be so special." I said, "Sounds great. What can I bring?" Silence. Then she cleared her throat. "Well, actually, Jenna's fiance's family is joining us this year. His parents, his sister, her kids. It's going to be a full house." I waited. "So we're keeping it to immediate family and in-laws. You understand, right? Space is tight." I wasn't immediate family, apparently. I didn't argue. I just said, "Sure, Mom, have fun." She sounded relieved. "I knew you'd understand. Maybe next year." I hung up and stared at my ceiling for a long time. Then I went back to work. 2 weeks before Christmas, Jenna called. I didn't pick up. She left a voicemail. "Hey, weird situation. The cabin reservation got canceled. Dad's freaking out. He thought it was all set, but apparently there's no booking. You dealt with Uncle Ray's estate lawyer, right? Can you reach out and get us access? We have 16 people coming. Flights are booked. I need this fixed by Friday." I listened to it twice. She didn't say please. She didn't acknowledge that I'd been uninvited. She just assumed I'd fix it. An hour later, Kyle texted me. "Jenna said you're handling the cabin thing. Don't be difficult. It's Christmas. Don't be difficult." I screenshotted that text. Then I didn't reply. Not yet. The family group chat exploded the next day. Dad messaged first. "We need to talk about the cabin. This is getting ridiculous." Then Jenna. "I don't know what's going on with you, but you're really going to ruin Christmas over keys?" Kyle piled on. "This is so typical. Always making everything about you." Then Mom sent a long paragraph. "I'll spare you the whole thing." The summary? I was disrespecting Uncle Ray's memory. The cabin was a family tradition. How could I be so selfish? I felt it. That old guilt creeping back in. The voice that said maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I should just keep the peace. Jenna forwarded me an email she'd sent to the county assessor's office, asking for access records. She assumed the cabin was in some kind of family trust. It wasn't. Her fiancé's parents had already bought plane tickets, non-refundable, Mom sent another text. This is the last Christmas before Jenna gets married. Please don't ruin it. I sat there for 6 hours staring at my phone. I drafted an apology email, wrote 3 paragraphs about how I'd figure something out, hovered my finger over the send button. Then I opened the estate folder on my laptop. And I remembered who actually paid the property taxes for the last 18 months. I deleted the apology, and I started a new email. I pulled up the deed. Recorded 18 months earlier, the day after Uncle Ray's will went through probate. Property address, 47 Snow Ridge Lane. Legal parcel number, 47-392. Owner of record, my full legal name. Sole owner. No co-owners, no trust. No estate encumbrance, just me. The family had been using the cabin for years. But only because Uncle Ray let them. And my dad had told everyone he and Ray co-owned it. That was a lie. Ray bought it outright in 1994. Paid cash, never added anyone to the title. I'd been paying the property taxes since the estate closed. $4,600 every April. Nobody noticed. I attached the deed to an email. Added the property tax receipts for good measure. Kept the message short. Hi all, quick clarification. The Snow Ridge cabin isn't available because it's privately owned. I've attached the deed and recent tax payments. I hope you can find another spot for your gathering. Best and happy holidays. I read it 3 times. Then I hit send. The group chat went silent. For 12 minutes, nothing. I watched the read receipts pile up. Mom, Dad, Jenna, Kyle, 2 aunts who'd been CC'd for some reason. Everyone had opened it. Nobody replied. Then my phone rang. It was Dad. I let it go to voicemail. Dad left a voicemail. I could hear him breathing hard, trying to stay calm. You can't just, Ray was my brother-in-law. That cabin has decades of our memories. We need to talk about this. Call me. I didn't call. Jenna tried a different strategy. She sent a text. Sweet. Reasonable. Okay, you're right. You own it. I get that. So let's do this properly. We'll rent it from you. $500 for the week. I'll Venmo you right now. $500. I pulled up the rental comps for the area. Comparable cabins that size that week? $8,000 to $12,000. She was offering me $500. I didn't respond. Then Mom got involved. She sent a long message to the extended family group chat. Aunts, uncles, cousins. I wasn't included, but my cousin Sarah screenshotted it and sent it to me. The summary? I had kicked the family out of a family heirloom that Uncle Ray would have wanted everyone to share. I was being vindictive, selfish, hurtful. One of my cousins commented, "Wow, that's really sad." An aunt replied, "Some people change when money's involved." Someone posted a vague Facebook story. I didn't see it, but 3 people sent me screenshots. Greed has no place at Christmas. They didn't name me. They didn't have to. Then Kyle left his own voicemail. My buddy's a lawyer. He says we might have a case for undue influence. Ray wasn't in his right mind at the end. Just so you know, Ray had been sharp until the day he died, and the will contest deadline had passed 14 months ago. But Kyle didn't know that. They wanted a fight. I wanted documentation. Uncle Ray kept everything. When I inherited his estate, I got his files. Decades of paperwork, emails, letters. I'd scanned most of it, organized it by year. Now I went looking, and I found exactly what I needed. First, an email from 3 years ago. Subject line, quick favor, cabin equity line. From my dad to Uncle Ray. Hey Ray, wondering if you'd co-sign a small equity line using the cabin. $20K, I'll have it paid back in 6 months. Let me know. Uncle Ray's reply was 1 sentence. No, and I'm updating my estate plan this week. He did. The lawyer's file showed he amended the will 4 days later, making sure the cabin couldn't be touched. Second email. 2.5 years ago, from my mom to Uncle Ray. You've been so generous over the years. I wanted to mention you don't need to leave anything to her. She's doing fine on her own. It might be better to split things between Jenna and Kyle. Just a thought. Uncle Ray's response made me cry. She's self-sufficient because I mentored her. She earned it. The others expect it. There's a big difference. My will stands. I read it 5 times. Then I understood. They didn't want the cabin for Christmas. They wanted to establish use rights for a future claim. And I had proof. I did what Uncle Ray taught me. I pulled public records, county assessor, court filings, mortgage databases. It took me 2 hours. Dad had taken out a second mortgage on the family home 14 months ago. $83,000. The listing photos showed deferred maintenance. Roof damage. Rotted deck. He needed the money. Jenna's LinkedIn told another story. She'd left her residency program 6 months in. Switched to a private fellowship that didn't offer stipend funding. I found a credit report. She'd run her own, and it was in the estate files because she'd asked Uncle Ray for a loan 2 years ago. $90,000 in private student debt. Kyle's startup had folded. I knew that part. But the estate documents showed something else. Uncle Ray had loaned him $15,000 4 years ago. In the will, Clause 12, Ray forgave the debt. But Kyle never read past page 1. He thought he still owed it. And he thought if he played nice, he could negotiate cabin access as payment. Then I understood the real picture. Jenna's fiancé came from money. His dad's a surgeon. His mom's on 2 nonprofit boards. The cabin wasn't about Christmas. It was a stage, a set piece. Proof of legacy wealth they didn't actually have. It wasn't about me. It never was. I was just in the way of their story. And now I knew exactly what to do. I made 3 calls. First to an estate attorney. Not the one who'd handled Uncle Ray's probate. Someone new, someone sharp. I explained the situation in 10 minutes. She laughed. You want to cease and desist for the will contest threat and a formal trespass notice? Yes. Done. I'll have it drafted by end of day. Second call, to the property caretaker. His name's Ron, retired sheriff. Uncle Ray hired him 15 years ago to check on the cabin during the off-season. Ron, I need you to do something for me. I explained. He said, you got it. I've been waiting for this. Turns out someone had tried the lockbox code 3 days earlier. Ron caught it on the camera log. Failed attempt. Wrong code. They were already planning to go around me. Third, I sent 1 email. To my mom, not the group chat. Just her. Mom, I'm not angry, but I'm also not negotiating. If you'd like to have a conversation in January with a mediator present, I'm open to that. Until then, the cabin is off limits. This boundary is final. I read it twice. Then I hit send. And then I did something they'd never see coming. I called the director of a local family shelter. Hi, I'd like to donate a week at a property I own. Fully comped. How many people can you host? She paused. Are you serious? Completely. We have a family of 8 on our waiting list. Perfect. I'll send the details. Christmas week. I was at my apartment 1,200 miles away. I got a text from Ron at 9:43 a.m. They're here. 3 minutes later, my phone buzzed. A photo. 2 SUVs at the gate. Washington plates. Ski racks on top. I called him. You good? Oh, I'm great. He sent me a video 5 minutes later. Ron standing at the driver's window, envelope in hand. I couldn't hear the audio, but I didn't need to. My dad in the driver's seat, face red, hands up. Ron handed him the envelope. Stepped back. Pointed to the camera on the gate. Then he got in his truck and waited. The SUVs sat there for 11 minutes. Then they turned around. Ron called me. Your dad said, we're family. What did you say? I said, according to this deed, you're not on the owner list. Merry Christmas. I laughed for the first time in weeks. That afternoon, the local news ran a segment. A local family of 8 is spending Christmas at a luxury Snow Ridge cabin thanks to an anonymous donor. The cabin, valued at over $2 million, was donated for the week by a private owner working with the Summit Family Shelter. They interviewed the mom. She cried on camera. We never thought we'd have a Christmas like this. Whoever did this, thank you. The shelter director posted a thank you on Instagram that night. She tagged my LLC by accident. I hadn't told her to keep it fully anonymous, I just said low-key. My aunt saw it. She sent the link to the family group chat. I watched the read receipts pile up. No one replied. Then 2 days later, I got an email. From Jenna's fiancé. Subject line, I need to understand. Hi, I don't know what's going on, but your sister's version of events isn't adding up. Can you send me the real story? I didn't write anything. I just attached 3 files. Uncle Ray's emails, the deed, the property tax records. He replied 4 hours later. Thank you. I'm sorry you went through this. 3 days after Christmas, Jenna posted on Facebook. Sometimes you find out who people really are when things fall apart. Family isn't always what you think. Moving forward, she didn't tag anyone. But I knew. The engagement ended a week later. She never said why publicly. But I got a message from a mutual friend. He called it off. Said he couldn't trust her. I didn't reply to that either. I didn't need to. A week after New Year's, my parents sent an email. Subject line, moving forward. We may have overreacted about the cabin situation. Emotions were high. Let's all move past this and focus on family. No apology for the smear campaign. No acknowledgement of what they'd said. Just moving forward. I archived it. I didn't reply. Kyle never reached out. I heard through a cousin that he's telling people I stole the cabin from the family. No one believes him, especially not after the news story. Jenna moved to another state 2 months later. Blocked me on everything. I felt sad about that. Not guilty, just sad. Because I wasn't grieving the sister I had. I was grieving the sister I wanted. There's a difference. I started seeing a therapist in February. Not because I felt broken, because I wanted to understand what healthy boundaries actually look like. She asked me once, "Do you feel free?" I thought about it. I feel like I finally read the room. And then I left it. She smiled. That's called self-respect. The cabin became an annual thing. Every Christmas week, I donate it to a different nonprofit. Families in transition, domestic violence survivors, foster groups. I set up a small foundation in Uncle Ray's name. The Raymond Callahan Holiday Haven. It funds a scholarship for first-generation students in real estate and property law. One scholarship so far, $1,500. It's not huge, but it's a start. This past Christmas, I spent the week at the cabin, alone, by choice. I brought Uncle Ray's favorite whiskey, put his photo on the mantle, watched the snow fall, made a toast. You'd have loved this, Ray. I think he would have. My mom sent a card in March, generic, Hallmark. Thinking of you. I sent one back. Same energy. We're not estranged. We're just not close. And I'm okay with that. Because I learned something Uncle Ray tried to teach me years ago. Family isn't who shares your blood. It's who shows up when there's nothing to gain. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors. And you get to choose who gets a key. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had to set a boundary that cost you a relationship? Was it worth it? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more stories about standing your ground without burning it all down, hit that subscribe button. Next week, I'm covering the cousin who tried to squat in my rental property. You're going to want the receipts on that one. Thanks for watching. One last thing. This story is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes. It is not legal, financial, or family therapy advice. Always consult licensed professionals for your specific situation. Take care of yourselves. And guard your peace.